Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Monday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. Today I have with me the energy of a divine collective, a collective of angelic beings that are closer to God than some of the ascended masters are, that wanted to talk about your understanding of your servants and your masters, and to learn to make the distinction between the two, your servants and your masters. Because what's happening to a lot of people today is their servants have become their masters. And I'm not talking about the global WEF and all the political machinations that are going on that are certainly contributing to human suffering and in needless and pointless and meaningless ways. But I'm talking about the immediate condition of servants and masters that they wanted to talk about. That your body is designed to be your servant, not your master. And this is something that's so important for you to understand. You can spend decades suffering or decades prospering. You must understand that the physical organism that you have was brand new when you got it. It had no beliefs from this life. It had no behaviors from this life. It was simply an instrument into which you entered. And when you entered into that body, it is designed by nature to follow your instruction and direction, and or follow the instruction and direction of those around you, your mothers, your fathers, those teachers. Any stimulation that could come to your body while you were very young in that body could act as an influence upon how your body would function. And that function of influence you may or may not have been aware of, but please understand that your body had no anger, no fear, no guilt, no shame, no judgment. You may have had karma. Your consciousness may have had karma, but your body in and of itself was pure when you came into it. And what came into the body after you entered into this world has operated as an influence upon your body. And that without your understanding that your body is truly an instrument that's just designed to follow the instructions that are given to it. That is it. You give it food, it makes blood and skin and bone. You teach it to talk, it talks. You teach it to walk, it walks. Your body's function as it is right now in this moment corresponds to the conditions of your life. Now there are many tens of thousands, if not millions of you that have lost yourself in the illusion that your body has some greater authority over you than you do over it. And this has created a very sad state of affairs in many places in this world, where you believe that your body is your master, not your servant. You have confused the servant and the master. You believe that the compulsions and impulses of the body are greater than your own will. And so you find this functions you call addiction quite prevalent, because you believe the sensations of the body are transcendent to your own will. And then there are those that will tell you, well, if you give your will up, then something will fix you. That is not true. You were given this life to learn to cultivate and develop your will and authority over your physical form. That sensations and temptations you are more than capable of rising above. And as long as you believe you are not capable of rising above, then you will be subjugated to sensation and temptation. as sensation and temptation is responsible for a great deal of the suffering upon this world today, most of it is only necessary to the point where you recognize that it is not. That you are the authority over what your body will and will not do. Now, there are many of you that believe that that is not the case, that you need some outside agency to influence and affect you. And perhaps without proper knowledge that might be true, like a child that falls and injures itself does not understand the concept of expediting healing with its own concentration and thought. Many of you are not trained in the understanding that your body by nature is designed to react and respond to you very intimately, very precisely, and very immediately. It is designed to do so. But many of you believe that the pains and the aches and the wants and the desires you have are greater than your own will. And without the ability to evaluate and consider what is actually good for your body. For your body cannot make that discernment as it bases its existence on the sensation. If something feels good, even if it is not good, the body will indulge in it. If the body tastes something that's good, it will not evaluate whether or not that good flavor has anything to do with something that might kill it in the form of a poison. Your body depends upon you to be able to evaluate and direct its functions. The body is an instrument of your consciousness, not the source of it. Let us repeat that. Your body is an instrument for your consciousness, not the source of your consciousness. Your consciousness is capable of directing and affecting and expediting function, behavior, and action of your body. And yet many have allowed the body to become the master. Oh, I must have this, and I must taste this, and I must drink this, and I must eat this, because it tastes good and it makes me feel good. And you've allowed your servant to become your master. And you can walk through your great cities now where you see the homeless, the sick, the infirm, the drugged. And they have lost themselves to the sensation of the servant. You see them buckled and bent and broken, bodies undirected, a soul who has surrendered its own will to sensation, forgetting your divinity for the sake of sensation is a very great price to pay. Surrendering your divinity for sensation is a great price to pay, and the suffering is great. You are made in the image and likeness of a divine consciousness. And yet, many of you would subjugate yourself to only the few pleasant sensations you might garner, rather than lifting your will up, considering possibilities that are available to you beyond the sensation. Your sciences have certain considerations such as delayed gratification, recognizing that there's a greater outcome that benefits one more than the immediacy of reward. But your body by nature is designed to follow your instructions, even, yes, to heal. Your body is designed, but many of you have not been presented with this understanding that you can indeed have authority over both the internal and external aspects of the body. From the skin to the subatomic particles of your body is designed to follow your direction. Even if that direction is detrimental, your body has no choice but to submit itself to what you agree to. And if you agree that something that is bad for you is good, then you will harm your body, and your body will simply reveal its discomfort for a period of time and then just surrender itself to the misery that you would provide it with. The substance process you call of addiction is a very good example of where you've conditioned your body sufficiently enough that it's surrendered to the function of suffering. And you've gotten lazy in the assertion of your will to train your mind and train your body to function more effectively on your behalf. And this is not a judgment of your being, but simply a recognition that there's functions of creation that you have access to that you choose not to avail yourself of. But we understand that the vast majority of you are being told you do not have these functions, that you must depend upon something or someone else in this world to relieve you of your suffering. And so you seek desperately in the world to try and find something out there to give you relief from your suffering, when you, in your consciousness, have the full potential to relieve yourself of all suffering. To ascend yourself to your divinity, and with so bring your body with it. Bring your body to a divine state of well-being and vitality and health. Understanding that the form will only surrender to that which directs it. And if you've surrendered what direction you give to your body to some other agency, that you would surrender ideas of health and well-being to another that may not have such considerations of what health and well-being actually are. Many of you have done this, surrendered the welfare of your body to others. And that does not seem to be working too good from our perspective. That when you observe what is happening in this human world today, then you will see that the vast majority of the suffering on this planet is because a large number of people are deferring responsibility over their own minds and own bodies to something outside of yourself. The most obvious examples are your systems of so-called health that seem to be creating more disease than they create health. And yet, you still do not want to make sense of this. Many of you just want to accept that because it is called a health system, that it necessarily means that it will make you healthy. But if that were the case, then you would be all shiny and radiant, vibrant and vital beings. Unfortunately, the function and sensation of profit has transcended good, sound, love, and reason's function. But if you wish to end your suffering, you must come to the understanding that your will is independent of the body, but authoritative over it. That the functions of your body, even those things they call autonomic functions, are amenable to your influence. Every system in your body is designed by nature to yield itself to authority greater than itself. Whether that authority is your own or the authority you would give to another. Your teachers, your politicians, all those around you that you grant authority to. And to whom you grant authority, then so too you shall experience conditions according to what authority you grant to them. A system of health, a system of prosperity would produce prosperity and health, not poverty and disease and death. A system of love would not create war. And yet you would accept that war is a natural part of your existence, and we say that that is absolute and utter nonsense. That war is a manifestation of greed. But let us bring this back to you, who are hearing these words in the body, through the ears that hear these words and the eyes that see this form before you. That your body by nature is designed to follow your direction and submit to your will. And the will we speak of is not a will of aggression and force. It's a will of clarity, understanding, meaning, and purpose. That you can say, even to the blood in your body, that it can be vibrant, healthy, pure, oxygenated. You can give very precise and specific instructions to the function of your body with such conviction that the body will simply obey, as easy as you could lift a hand or lower a hand or raise or lower your body. The body is designed by nature to submit itself to authority. And yet many of you have made the servant the master. Many of you have come to believe that something outside of you is of greater authority than you are yourself over your own body. And because you do not believe in your own authority, you cannot take responsibility. You cannot take responsibility for your families, your children, your civilization, because so many of you defer that authority and autonomy to something outside of yourself. Misery is the surrendering of the divine authority that is your natural birthright. To create, to think, to reason, to manifest, to honor, cherish, adore, uplift, inspire, capabilities that are of your soul. It is time to awaken and remember you are the authority, to take back your will from whom you gave it to. Be mindful what you would allow to be an influence upon you. Be very mindful of what you will allow to be an influence upon your mind, on your ears, on your eyes. For if you give authority to anything outside of yourself that is not of good report, that is, that which does not have its function of love as the first and foremost behavior of its consciousness. And we can use the most obvious example that you've given authority and autonomy over your health to a health system that is creating more sickness and disease than has ever been seen in any civilization that has existed upon the face of this earth. You've surrendered the autonomy you were designed to have over the wondrous instrument of this form that allows you and enables you to exist in the realm of creation, to understand what creation is, that you are a creating intelligence. You can create experiences, and you can defer and deny that responsibility, and again, hoping that something outside of you is better than you are at certain things and can guide you to a better life. That is possible too. But we have not seen any clear evidence of that from the existing conditions upon this planet right now, and the way in which your civilizations war amongst each other. No, too many of you expect something outside of you to create the fulfillment that you cannot or will not choose to create for yourself. To take responsibility over what you would eat, how you would sleep, how you would play and work. Your government systems have become replacements for your own will. And as a result, you suffer. And the more you seek to find something outside of yourself to give you more relief from your suffering, the more your suffering increases, as the function of your consciousness is that you learn to develop and assert your will as a divine creator. The longer you choose to delay the responsibility of how you interact with your mind and body and what you choose to think and say and do, then the greater your suffering will be. And the evidence is very plain to see in these last 200 years of your civilizations on this planet. Disease and famine and in an unnecessary form have taken shape. And one political system or another political system has not resolved the issue, whether you call it communism or socialism or capitalism or totalitarianism. These are all just reflections of conditions where you surrender your autonomy or you reclaim your autonomy. The greater your suffering, the greater your denial of the responsibility and the autonomy you have over your own mind and body and your life. If you continue to defer the responsibility for your well-being to others, then you will certainly reap the effect of that surrendering of your own will. And we hear some of you saying, well, I have this addiction and I cannot change it because I cannot change it. We say to you, that is not so. You've simply lost yourself in the body as the source of your feeling a certain way. You believe that the body is the only thing that can make you feel a certain way, but you can make the body feel a certain way. To communicate to your body how beautiful and wondrous and vibrant and vital it can be, and then giving it the proper foods and the activities to support and sustain that's what you would will it to be, then it shall be that. If you believe, I cannot do this, this is too powerful for me, I cannot overcome this, then so it shall be. You are a creator. This is not a judgment, but a recognition that when you give your authority over to something outside of your own consciousness, then you will reap the reward of the authority to which you grant that authority. If you place the responsibility for your wellness and well-being on your body, then your body will have to do the best it can, as it cannot reason, measure, and weigh in the fashion that you with your own will may. And so the body will rely upon the mechanisms of pleasure and pain to assert whether this is good or not good for me. That is all your body can do, is it can only assess based upon the pleasure value of something. And you can have a substance and drink it and it tastes very good and makes the body feel good, but then the ultimate outcome of that substance is detrimental to the body. But the body cannot make that distinction. Only you can, and you do. You can feel the pain of your body when you do something wrong to it. You say, oh, I should not do this, right? But then you defer yourself again to the body. You give up your authority and autonomy over it. You do not say to the body, no. No, you will not do that. You must understand the relationship between you and your body is that it is designed to be the servant and you are designed to be the master. And you flipped it around and made the servant the master and the master the servant. And only by the conscious and deliberate exercise of your will, knowing full well that you will not surrender to the urges of the body. Because the body has its own way. But you may become free, or you may remain enslaved by the denial of your own authority over your physical organism. Now you have this other servant that works for you as well, called your mind. The body is but one of two servants that you have, that you will always have in each lifetime you come into this world. The body is one servant, and its mechanisms are exclusively experiencing and defining life in terms of sensation, pleasure, or pain. And the body will naturally go towards that which feels good, and it will avoid that which naturally feels bad. Unless, of course, you use your will to tell it otherwise. Oh, this tastes really bad, but I like the way it makes me feel. I'll do it again. You can train your body to do very unpleasant things, and it will simply accept the command. And then the second servant is your thinking mind. The thoughts that you have in your mind assert an influence over your body as equally as you may with your own will. The thoughts, the beliefs, the ideologies that you hold and harbor in your heart have very precise and specific effects on the conditions of your life that, if left unchanged, then whatever has been placed in your mind will be that which directs the outcome of your experiences. If you were told, oh, drinking is very, very good, smoking this substance is very, very good, and oh, eating this food is very, very good, and you get into this feeling and this idea, the idea sounds good and the feeling feels good, so now you're in this addiction. But the master is you. And you may say to the mind, no, that is not good. You must learn to assess beyond what your mind has been taught to believe or think. You must assess beyond what your mind has been taught to think or believe to know the truth for yourself that, wait a minute, you tell me that this breakfast cereal is very, very good for me, but it's not. I look at the ingredients, it's very bad for me. And you must learn to evaluate what your mind has been taught to accept as true, because it may not be true, because there are many that benefit from telling you that which is true, which is false, and that which is false is true. There are many benefiting from your confusion in your mind. And then you find yourself surrendering, if not to the body, then you surrender to the beliefs that have been given by this world. And if you're bound by the beliefs given you by the world, then you're bound by the beliefs given to you by the world until your will awakens as, wait a minute, this belief that I have, this idea that I can't do this, or this idea that I'm no good, or this whatever ideas you harbor in your mind, you must understand that you are not the thoughts in your mind. You are the soul. You're the servant of the divine, and your mind and body are the servants given to you to employ in the realm of learning creation. Your mind and body are designed to be your servants, not your masters. No thought should go unweighed or measured in your mind. No thought should go unweighed or unmeasured in your mind. That you could think upon that thought and say, is this true? Is this not true? How do I know this is true? How do I know this is not true? You must learn to assert your own will over your mind, or continue to defer that process of thinking to the world around you. And that is not working out very well for humanity. It is not working very well at all for many of you that are deferring what you should believe or think to the dictates of others. That you should think that the color of another's skin makes them good or bad. Or that because someone is rich or poor makes them good or bad. These are just ideas. There are those that are very rich that are very beautiful and good, and there are those that are rich that are not so good and beautiful. And there are those that are poor that are very beautiful, and there are those that are poor that are very bad. You must learn to employ your own function of reason, and not simply accept that what you're being told is actually true. Even what we say, we would say, question this by all means. And weigh it in your own mind, so that the servant of your mind becomes the servant of your mind, not your master. So that the beliefs and ideas and information imparted to you from this world do not become the sole authority over what you define as being true or not true. That you can evaluate, consider, weigh, and measure information to such an extent and degree that you will know that what is true and that which is false is false. They tell you, oh, eating this food is very good for you, and you accept that belief and you accept that thought. And then you find out you're getting sick. Oh, it's not good for me. Do not wait for such things to happen. Weigh and measure very carefully. All of the information, the data, the technology that was necessary to avail yourself of all information to come to a deeper, more meaningful understanding of what is true and what is false was made available to every single soul upon this planet. You called for us to say, provide us a way to know the truth, show us how to end our suffering. And we innovated technology and provided a way for each and every individual in this whole world to have access to the knowledge that you seek. And not to simply defer your thoughts and beliefs to what someone else is saying or telling you. That you can weigh and measure with your own reasoning capabilities to come to the truth of something. Many of you believe that killing life is good. That the killing of the unborn is a good thing. You've been taught to believe that. And yet if we took one of your beloved pets and tried to take it from you, you'd be very upset. But you've been taught to believe that the sacredness of life is not as important as it actually is. And if you do not choose to evaluate your thoughts carefully, then your thoughts will become your master as equally as the sensations of your body will be your master. This is the truth. Many of you leave your thoughts unweighed and unmeasured, and you just simply accept them. Things you've been told all your life, or told every day. The same things, without question. Such prejudicial beliefs as white privilege or black impoverishment. And both in small measure are true, but they are not the absolute truth. And if you would accept them as the absolute truth, then you will have problems and conflicts. Again, as is evidenced by your civilization upon the planet today. Your mind and your body are your servants, not to be your masters, but to serve you. And only by use of your will can you entrain your mind and body to serve you effectively. For they of themselves can only do what they can do of themselves. The function of the body is primarily defined by sensation, that which feels good and that which doesn't feel good. That's how the body ascertains what it will or will not do, but it still requires your will to evaluate that which it cannot. Your body cannot understand the concept of ingredients in a package. It simply knows something tastes good or something doesn't taste good. And your mind simply has thoughts and information, but your mind in and of itself cannot evaluate, is this thought good and true and right and just? Your mind cannot evaluate its own information. Only you can do that. Only you can evaluate the mind. Only you can evaluate the substances that you would expose your body to. Your body and mind, without your will in charge, are like leaves upon a stormy sea, eventually to be inundated by the waves. You must learn to awaken. You are a divine soul. You have a mind and you have a body. They are meant to serve you. They're not designed to subjugate you. And they can only do so if you surrender your will to theirs. If you surrender to sensation and simply surrender your reasoning ability to evaluate and weigh and measure thought, then you will submit yourself to what you've been taught to believe and the sensations that your body likes and deems as good. And you can walk down many of your great cities now and see those buckled and bent over under the weight of the servant trying to carry the burden of the master. Your body of sensation alone cannot survive for very long. Nor can you thrive very well if you surrender yourself to beliefs unweighed or measured in your mind. You must awaken, and it is this time to awaken, to arise, to ascend yourself to that place of consciousness where you recognize that your mind and body are your servants, not your masters. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful brand new day in the world. Good morning. Thank you, Divine Collective. I appreciate that. It's so important, I was out shopping yesterday, and out of curiosity, I just went to the section where all the boxed cereals are, and I started looking at the ingredients in some of the cereals. And there's this particular brands of cereals, some of the magically delicious cereals, right? I don't want to say the names because I don't know if they'll come after me for this, but there are certain cereals that if you look on the back, they've got trisodium phosphate as an ingredient in the cereals they sell. Trisodium phosphate. That's a substance they use for cleaning walls before they paint them. And they're feeding that. They're magically delicious, right? They create words. This is what they're saying, So they create ways of presenting information. Something's magically delicious. Honey Nut Cheery Nose, so good. Cinnamon Toasties. These little cereals, and you look on them, and there's a toxic poison put in those. And yet they package it. And without the ability to reason or think or evaluate, so many people are doomed to consume these toxic things that are being provided to everybody all the time. It's terrible. What they were saying about waking up your reasoning faculty, don't depend on your mind to just read and accept things. Evaluate them. Only you can evaluate and question the information in your mind. Your mind cannot do that itself. Your mind is incapable of examining and evaluating its own information. It depends on you to do that. Just as your body can only react to this world by sensation. This feels good, this doesn't feel good. That's all your body's capable of doing. It depends on you to evaluate, is that actually good? Is eating raw sugar good for your body? Is eating all these candy bars, drinking alcohol, smoking tobacco, are these things actually good for your body? You can make that assessment. And then people train their bodies to like something the body doesn't like. And they teach the body to not to like something that's not good for the body, and the body does it. Smokes, I smoked for 30 years before I realized how bad it was. Before I reclaimed my will back, I realized I had to do that. So watch out. Wake up. Don't count on what's in your mind exclusively. Evaluate, reason, weigh, measure information that's coming at you. Think about it. If the health systems of today were making people healthier, we would be a shining, radiant civilization. But they tell you the word health center, right? And of course, it must be a health center. You don't weigh a resident. Well, what's the health center actually do? How many people are actually healthy? You know, one of the leading causes of death in the world is people under the care of medicine. Do the research and statistics for yourself, but don't believe everything that you're being told. Not even here. Weigh it, measure it, evaluate it. But from my observation, what they call a health system, right, is not a very healthy system. That governments are going to improve your life, I don't see any evidence of that, especially in North America. I don't see evidence that governments are improving people's lives. They're making people pay more and they're taking more. So a government's supposed to represent something that rules in an effective manner. But you don't have effective government and you don't question it enough to weigh it. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting personal now. I don't have a lot of time. I got some readings to get to today as well. Hello, Danielle. Good to see you today. So anyway, I was out shopping and I took some pictures of these different cereals that still carry trisodium phosphate in breakfast cereals. Watch what you're giving your children, because they're presenting things that they're going to be very beautiful. Magic charm. What is it? Lucky Magic Charms or Magically Dish. And they got the cute little leprechaun on the box and all the bright little colors and cartoons. They're so cute and pretty. Watch the surface. Dig beneath. Read the labels. Right? Please do that. You're wondering where all these disease. Why did ADHD and all these things suddenly explode in the last 50 years? Because they're poisoning food. The health system is a disease system. If it were a health system, people would be healthy. Use logic here. Right? So watch how they present stuff to you, because they'll try and keep you enslaved to suffering. Thank you so much for the hearts and hands and the roses, and thank you for the support. Oh wow, look at that. We got 50% of the goals received today. Thank you so much. It is really horrible. Thank you so much, Amanda. I appreciate that. So yeah, we watch this going on, and what they're saying is so important. Your body and your mind are designed to be your servants, not your masters. Do not leave your thoughts unquestioned. Don't just accept what people say without question and evaluation. Right? Anyway, please do. You deserve to be happy. You came here to live a creative life. Make America healthy again. Yeah, make America healthy again. Maha. I like that. Amanda's saying, I was so determined to not take my son to the doctors yesterday so they could give him antibiotics for his cough. Instead, I used hydrogen peroxide on a Q-tip in the ear. He was better overnight. Wonderful, Amanda. Thank you. You must have watched that show that was done a while ago. They said to us, if you use a lot of pathogens, a lot of like runny noses and colds, start in the ear canals. The ear canals are quite warm. A lot of people are now wearing earbuds and headsets and stuff like that. So you create a perfect incubation place for bacteria to grow in your ear. And the pathogens propagate in there, and then they migrate from the ears down into the sinuses and in the throat. So if you ever get a slight tickling or tingling sensation, put a bit of hydrogen peroxide, 3% solution, in your ears. Spray it in. I spray it in. I spray it in one ear, wait and let it bubble for a little while, and I do each side like that. There's simple ways. Oxygen is a very powerful healer. Hydrogen peroxide is a very strong oxygen substance. It's very powerful, isn't it? So I'm so glad to hear that, Amanda. Instead of antibiotics, you gave him something. Because you give a child antibiotics, you kill what are called GABA receptors in the intestinal tract. And when you kill GABA receptors, you disconnect communication between the brain and body. And that creates degradation. And the people in power and authority and control know how to keep you subjugated. Unless you can wake up and reason. But if you're choosing not to reason, then the old statement, caveat emptor, buyer beware, right? Watch out, because people will sell you things and give you things that aren't good for you under the illusion that they are. Like Lucky Charms are magically delicious, right? And then read the ingredients. Go read the ingredients on Lucky Charms or Honey Nut Cheerios, right? Or those cinnamon toast things. Read the ingredients on them. Please, I put a post on one of my Facebook pages of all these labels and showing the ingredients. So don't just accept what you're being told. Not even here. Evaluate it, weigh it, measure it, and experience it. Your experience is your teacher, not what somebody else says. Hi there. Just going to scroll down and see. You are not alone. That's absolutely true. That's so true. Good morning, William. Any message from Spirit for me about the new guy I'm dating? Congratulations, Hannah. I'm getting a really uplifting feeling. Observe what is said and what is done. I'm being told to tell you, watch how he is around children. Watch how he is around animals. Watch how he is around his mother. Watch certain fundamental things to know the kind of man he is. But I get a really strong, high vibrational energy from this being, right? It's nice to have the opportunity, Hannah. But yeah, I get a really high vibrational flow from this guy. But still, use reason and observe what he does, not what he says. A freak weekend in South Africa, lots of snow, and it's spring. Oh yeah, I saw that the other day. All these roads got closed down in South Africa. People don't realize we are affecting, not our industry. Our industry has very little impact on the whole planet. What's really affecting our whole planet is our collective unconsciousness. And our collective unconsciousness right now is fear-based more than love-based. And we're seeing the effects of the function of fear in our politics, in our societies, in our relationships, in our lives. Fear and love execute different functions of behavior. And it's our collective functioning that's changing the planet right now. The planet is going through a change, and that change is because of our consciousness. 9 billion souls thinking and feeling a certain way will affect time, space, and matter. Yeah, that was really fascinating in South Africa. William, oh, thank you so much for that beautiful creature. I love that. William and guides have helped me deal with intense sadness I have had for 4 years. Pray for you. Hello, Momo. Yeah, it's great you're overcoming that. Alcohol and sugar blocks my third eye. Yeah, alcohol and sugar blocks everybody's third eye. Something else that blocks your third eye is not meditating. Fluoridated products. Most processed foods. Breads. Just you have to use your own reasoning. Don't just take my word for it. Oh, thank you so much for helping. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Snow in South Africa does happen, but not to the extent they had it. Literally, people were stranded in cars for like 2 days. I think they've got most of it cleared up now. We have students in South Africa too. I haven't heard from them yet, but I trust all is well. Remember, your consciousness affects your body. If you're in a state of fear, your body will react. If you're in a state of excitement, your body will react. Think about it, 9 billion people, and our energy goes out from us. When you feel a certain feeling, you emanate it from your body. And think about the vast majority of people are caught up in fear and anger, disease, sickness, and we're radiating that out. The planet is going to react and respond. Our energy will interact with the planet, just as the planet's energy interacts with us, just like the sun interacts with the earth and the earth interacts with the sun. Very dynamic and integrated system. It's quite remarkable, actually. Hi, William. A question. I was thinking back to when I did an orange fasting. Am I being guided to do the same now? Or does my physical body need something else to detox? Really appreciate a message. Yes, you want to do something called what we call Jesus juice. About 4.5 years ago, Master Jesus, when I was about to to squeeze some organic lemons that we bought. He said no. He said wash it and juice the entire lemon up. He said take two lemons. So I took 2 organic lemons, washed them really well, and he said cut them into pieces, drop them in the water, put the good water inside, and then juice the whole thing up, seeds and all. And you want to do a detox? Do Jesus juice. It's really quite amazing, right? When he gave us that, you'll be quite surprised how good it tastes. It's called Jesus juice. So about 2 lemons with about 4 cups of water. You can add more water or less water to taste, but the substance is really powerful. You're getting everything from it. That's what I was told to tell you. Thank you so much. Just scrolling down here. Thank you so much for the gifts and the badges, guys. I really appreciate it. I hate taking allergy medication. That one, I think the side effects are worse than it is helping. Again, because we're becoming a disease-based socioeconomic system, because again, now systems are suffering. There's more prosperity from suffering than there is from being happy. There's more prosperity from suffering now. War, disease, they're the biggest money makers on the planet, and unfortunately people gotten seduced by that. Allergies, again, is because I won't do that. Okay, so they're telling me not to talk about that right now. If you want to know more about how to deal with your allergies, book a reading with me. If you want to know another way to deal with your allergies, book a reading with me. Thank you, William and guys, for all your messages. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your respect. Thank you. Should I take the trip to Key West this year? I got a big yes for that. Sooner rather than later. Get ready for the fun. My name's Trista. Does the guides know if Tim is my soulmate? It would have to be developed into that. There is work to be done in this relationship, which is a good thing, but it must be something you must choose to do together to develop and cultivate the relationship of a soulmate. Relationships are creations. They're not simply bestowed upon you. The potential for a soulmate is existent within every possible relationship, but the willingness of the individuals to create that, because you are creators, yes, of course you can create a most dynamic relationship, but make certain that you do it together. Make certain he's an equal participant in this concept of divine love, because that is what you're seeking. A soulmate is a function of divine love in relationship. How can we learn to act more out of the heart? Monkey 232. Sign up for Masterclass 101. There's about a month and a bit before the class begins. It's 101. It's called Awakening. It's a whole course on connecting to your guides, your angels, ascended masters. But it's also about improving the health of your body. It's learning about meditation. It's gaining a deep and fundamental understanding of how to cultivate and develop the function of love in your consciousness. And it's called Masterclass 101 Awakening. Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com. Sign up. There's only a month. We had a lot of people last time that missed it, and now they had to wait until November. So they're signing up now. So please do that. Go to my site, sign up. You'll learn how to awaken your function of love, because that's what you're asking to do. Are you able to tell me the name of my spirit guides? I have actually done that once before with you, I remember. Hi, William, angels and friends. Any messages from my furry friend, Buddy, please? Just likes lying around at your feet. He just likes hanging out at your feet there, buddy. He just loves being around your feet. When you're in your calm place, he loves being with you. When you're just calm and chill, he loves being with you then. That's the time he hangs around most. Thank you for the hanging lights. I appreciate the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate that. Hi. Jesus juice. I'm on it. Yeah, it's really good. I'm telling you. Yeah, that was cool when he gave us that. How do I book a reading? Go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, and you can choose the date and time from your calendar. My readings are half hour and 1 hour long. If you don't want a half hour, 1 hour, you can always ask a single question. Go through the Linktree link underneath my TikTok bio, or under any one of my live videos. You'll see the Linktree link. Click on that. That will take you to the place where you can ask individual questions for a small donation. right? Or if you want to leave, if you've had your question answered, you can leave a tip in the tip jar. Hi, my name is Noreen. Wondering if I will have another baby. Thanks in advance. I'm being told there. I'm being told there's a blockage there, but there is the potential for the other. But there's a what is that blockage? Just give me a second. I'm trying to tune in what this blockage is. This is an emotional blockage between you and having this child. There's something emotionally going on within your subconscious field that's inhibiting that at this time. But the possibility is there. Once that block is there, it will become a reality. But it's only a possibility with that emotional block inside. Yes. Again, if you want to know more about what that block is and its source and cause, book a reading with me. Right? Wonderful. Hi, Janavi. Question. What's going on when my ear rings, then I feel and hear static sounds? What should I do when it happens? Okay, it happens quite a bit. When you get that sensation where the ears are ringing, people get caught up in the sound of the ringing, the tone, right? We all know that tone. But it's not the tone. It's what is the feeling in the tone. Not the sensation of the tone, but what is the feeling in the tone. The feeling contains the message. The feeling contains the message. The tone is just the way they get your attention. They say, we want you to hear. So it's not, don't listen to the sound, tune into the feeling. And the feeling will sometimes contain images or full sentences. It can contain feelings or full sentences, right? Or you can get a full image, you can get a picture in your mind about it. But yeah, you got to learn to tune into it a little differently. Don't get caught in the sensation. When does sign up close? Sign up closes on the I think the 4th, 2nd, the 3rd. The 3rd of November is when the sign up closes for Masterclass 102. But don't wait. I'm telling you, don't wait. You'll really do yourself a disservice by waiting. Get set up now, then you won't have to worry about it, think about it. Again, go to my website, williammichaelforbes.com, check out the courses section, and choose Masterclass 101 Awakening. And it literally is an awakening course. You'll reconnect to your soul, and you'll get back to the proper authority over your mind and body that you deserve to have. Right? Jasmine, thank you so much for that super sticker. You too, John V. Thank you so kindly. Did Jasmine ask a question? Fee is asking, any advice for my partner, please? The company he's worked for since leaving school over 40 years ago is closing his factory. Yeah, it's time for him to look for what he loves. What does he love to do? What does he love to do? He was comfortable doing what he's doing, and now life is putting a new challenge for both of you. What is the next creative process? What is the joy that he would like to carry out in his life? Right? Yes. Find the new thing, guys. There, that was a great question, by the way. 101 is a great course. I highly recommend 102 and 103 too. Yeah, very, very good courses. Yeah. If you want, you can go to my testimonials page on my website and check out the hundreds of testimonials there about readings, classes, courses, what people have experienced personally. Is it possible to be told the names of our spirit guides? Yes, it is. I can speak to spirit animals. That's wonderful. Thanks, William. I feel his presence. I was just watching a video of him running to me. No tears. That's great. Wonderful. Oh, you're very welcome. What is the root cause of my daughter's speech delay and gut issues? This is a great question, Sassy. Just give me a second here. There's something her body's not getting that it's needed. There's an actual blockage in her body. There's something chemically imbalanced in her body, and it's not something that can be fixed medically. Put her on more living food, like more fruits, more vegetables that are really good quality fruits and vegetables. You need to help her balance them. Yes, balance the. You have to. There's a chemical element in the body that's got to be removed, and living food will help with that. Changing the diet will help with that. there's another thing that's, I can't quite pull it in, but there's something else for her that she needs that will shift it like almost instantly, they're saying. But I'm having trouble grabbing it in my mind. I'm trying to see it, but it's just kind of back here. It'll come to me. When it does, I'll come back and I'll see if I can give you that answer. But you want to shift, first of all, the type and quality of food she's eating. You want to raise the vibration of the food. I got about 2 minutes. I've got a reading. Folks, I've got to go. I want to wish you all a wonderful, a joyful day. Thank the Divine Collective once again for coming. Thank you for your support. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this. It doesn't cost you anything, and you can get this information out to other people who deserve this. You didn't come to this world to be unhappy. You came to this world to learn to create. Much love, everybody. Have your